It's interesting to be writing again because I took a class for writing children's books so many years ago, and after I started having kids, just stopped. I never published anything, and then after watching this film, I got real excited about writing again. My name is Leah Hudson. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm also the author of 2 children's books, Miss Sharon and the Cats of Skiathos and Harriet the Beach Cat. I was inspired to write the books after watching a documentary by Philip Bloom in 2018 with my daughter, which followed a woman named Sharon Hewing who cares for homeless cats on the island of Skiathos, Greece. The film chronicles her and her small handful of volunteers. Several hundred of them live with her who probably wouldn't make it alone on the streets.
It made me feel happy that they were getting food and stuff, but it was sad. They had no homes.
I've never met her. I live all the way in California, but something about her story touched me so deeply. Sharon receives no government assistance, so she founded the Skiathos Cat Welfare Association to care for the cats. And at the time, there was a GoFundMe campaign that was matching donations. Ava collected $600, so her $600 then became $1,200. It lit a fire in her, which also lit a fire in me. I wanted to do more. I just thought, writing, where profits from book sales could continuously be donated to Sharon and her cause. I asked Ava, would you want to work on this project with me? And she said, sure. She would read a section of the story that I had written and she'd say, don't say anything, Mom, I have an idea, I have an idea. She'd go create her drawing and bring it back to me. It was really neat to see her interpretation of the story.
At first we only just had like 5 pictures, but then we're like, oh, we need like a lot more pictures than this.
When the house was empty and everyone was at work and school, fiddled my way through Photoshop to bring Ava's beautiful illustrations to life. Within a few weeks, I had Miss Sharon and the Cats of Skiathos, which basically follows a day in the life of Sharon Ewing. The second story, Harriet the Beach Cat, pretty closely follows Harriet's story. The creator of the documentaries, Philip Bloom, fell in love with the Cats of Skiathos, in particular Harriet. He traveled back and forth a few times before he finally realized he needed to bring her home with him. I decided to take that and sort of insert my ideas for how she lived her day-to-day in between his visits. It's basically a love letter between Harriet and Philip Bloom.
Her friend Severus is sunbathing on a lounge chair near a large group of tourists, and not too far away is a man sitting by himself on a blue blanket. That's me. He looks up at her as she casually strolls past him, and she searches his face to be sure it's safe to approach.
The omission of people drawn into the stories is intentional, and it's kind of cool to think of a child reading the story, perhaps thinking of themselves on the beach or feeding the cats or imagining in their own mind what Miss Sharon looks like. Nowadays, you can self-publish, and Amazon has been a great way for us to get the stories out worldwide. It just felt amazing when we found out that we had started selling books. Every time a book sells, we can donate the proceeds to Miss Sharon and the SCWA. Historically, cats are thought of as pests in Skiathos, but times are changing. And much of that is due to what Sharon and her organization have done and are doing. Sharon's dream is to have a permanent facility for the Cats of Skiathos, and Sharon's dream has become my dream. Everyone believes in something, and I think it's important to teach our children to do whatever you feel you can. That's why I wrote these books.
My hope for the cats is that they'll end up getting enough money to make the building, and then all the sick ones and the blind ones will have a home.
Just seeing this woman and her selflessness and her determination to help these animals, I immediately just knew I wanted to help her.